In the weeks leading up to Christmas, the tower at Lismore's Catholic Cathedral becomes a rehearsal space for what John Maloney calls his heavenly metal music. John's love affair with bell ringing began when he was just 13 years old.
I was coming to church here every Sunday with my parents, but I always wanted to have a look up in the tower, but it was always locked up and it was always sort of cobwebs, and people said, oh, you don't go up there. And so one of the priests agreed to let me come up and have a look, and I said, oh, straight away I knew, I said, oh, I've got to do that. So I convinced them with my enthusiasm. They found this wonderful man here in Lismore, and he said, come down every Saturday morning, and taught me everything I knew about it over about 3 or 4 years, which was really good. And after a while, I've been going well, and they gave me a ringing endorsement, and they said you can continue doing that, which is good. The next one is London Derriere, a beautiful old traditional Irish tune, and we love to play it.
This is the only set of 12 bells in Australia, and the story of how they came to be installed in this tower is epic. It all started with an Irish missionary priest, Father Jeremiah Joseph Doyle. When he became the Bishop of Lismore in 1887, his vision was to build this grand Catholic cathedral. It was completed in 1907 without its bell tower at a cost of over £30,000. But this was not the end of Bishop Doyle's expensive tastes.
Every 4 years I have to go back to Rome. On his way back he decided to visit home, which was Ireland. He was Irish. He went to the Matthew O'Byrne, who was a bell founder in Dublin, and he said, we want one bell for Lismore. And while he was in there, they had another set hooked up on a frame in the yard testing them, and he said, oh, wow, that sounds fantastic. He said, I want an exact copy made. When he came back, he was met by a huge delegation at the railway station, welcoming him back, and he says, I've got an announcement to make. I've ordered a few bells while I was away. And they went, oh.
The bill for the bells was just over £1,600, on top of the cost of the unbuilt tower.
So they started raising money for all these bells, and suddenly Bishop Doyle passed away very young in his sleep, and the very next day the letter came saying the bells are ready, and they went, oh no. Then so they had a meeting of the city council here, and they said he was such an extraordinary pioneer. He'd helped get the first telephone put into Lismore, and he was on the board of the hospital, and the council said we'll start raising some money too so it can be put in as a permanent memorial to Bishop Doyle.
For over 100 years, the peal of St Carthage's bells have called the congregation to the cathedral for celebrations and tragedies. There is one bell, John's favourite, that plays a special role on these occasions.
The name of this one is St Patrick. Over the last 100 years, this bell has been in every major thing in Lismore. The Queen visiting Lismore, the death of King George, end of World War I, the end of World War II, and it's got a beautiful slow toll which goes like this.
It's not just bell ringing history John collects, it's also bell ringing clangers.
Hunchback of Notre Dame goes to the doctor, and he walks to the door, and the doctor says, even before he sat down, you've got a bad back. He says, how did you know so quick? Oh, it's just a hunch. The next one is a beautiful, exuberant, joyful piece of campanological wonderment, Joy to the World.
Bell ringing has become such a lifestyle choice for John that even his holidays are scheduled around a bell bucket list.
Well, over the last 15 or so years I've been travelling around Australia. I've got some lists from some of the main foundries which are of bells that have been cast and sent to Australia. And so I've been ticking off visiting, taking a photo, ringing the bell, and then getting in the car and drive by bell ringing, and sort of go off to the next town and ring, visit that. And I've been, especially the heavy bells, I've still got a few more to visit, but it's good fun.
This year is John's 35th anniversary of ringing the bells at St Carthage's.
It's really good because you're contributing to the church, to the community, good music hopefully for the neighbours and for the city, that you don't get too many complaints. No, I enjoy it, I love it, I really do.